Good morning, sir. I am Dipali Martodia from BA English Honours 6th semester. Today I am going to present my massive open online course seminar on English literature of the Romantic period. The platform of my course is Swayam. In this course we have dealt only from 1798 to 1832 of the Romantic period. So first of all, what is SWAYAM? SWAYAM stands for Study Webs of Active Learning for Young Aspiring Minds, and it is a opportunity which helps us for lifelong learning. There are various courses which we can pursue through online medium. So talking about the course, my course started on 27th of January 2020 and it ended on 16th April 2020. The lectures were taken by Professor Pramod K. Nair and the course was undertaken by University of Hyderabad. So this is a basic layout of the entire course. It was divided into 8 different weeks, and in every week we learnt about a different aspect of the Romantic age and the Romantic period. So in the week 1 we were given an introduction to how we are going to go with the topics, following which we were given an introduction regarding the Romantic age. The topic covered were about the themes and response to the Romantic age and the response to Augustan age. In the next week, that is week 2, we learned about the European Romanticism sensibility, descent and revolution. First of all, we will revise about the week 1, and the week also highlighted the Romantic school of thought. The background during the Romanticism was given a brief account, and in the end of phase 1, we were told about extra activities and later by the exercises. In the next week, that is week 3, we were taught about the 5 eyes of Romanticism, that is individualism, intuition, imagination, inspiration and idealism. We also got to know that the Romantics were inspired by the environment and encouraged people to venture into new territories, both literally and metaphorically. In the next week, that is week 4, first of all, we had a revision of the week 3 and the exercise regarding the same was done. It was followed by the small introduction to Romanticism and sentiment. The topics covered were School of Romantics, second generation of the Romantic movement, William Wordsworth, Samuel Taylor Coleridge and William Blake. These 3 were the major poets of the Romantic period. And in week 5, we had a revision of the week 4. Then it was followed by the extended exercises, and we had a introduction to the nature and the environment of the Romantic age and how the Romantic revival meant the rebirth of Romanticism in English poetry. During the 18th century, the classical school of poetry had been predominant, and Thomson, Blake and Gray reacted against the classical school. All these poets tried to rise above the fixed literary conventions and artificial laws. We also had a small introduction to Shelley, Keats and Byron. They were the other prominent writers of this age. In week 5, we had a comparison between the neoclassical and Romanticism, the use of poetic diction, style of writings of the Romantics, the role of memory in the works and the famous works of the Romantic age. The concept of the artist as a visionary in tune with the deeper nature of reality, which has been part of any number of avant-garde movements, is essentially a Romanticist view. In week 6, we learned about the different poets and authors of the Romantic age, which included Wordsworth and their accomplishments. We had an introduction to William Wordsworth, the works of William Wordsworth, his style, the Lake poets. Any of the English poets, William Wordsworth, Samuel Taylor Coleridge and Robert Southey, who lived in the English Lake District of Cumberland and Westmoreland, now Cumbria, at the beginning of the 19th century. They were first described derogatorily as Lake School by Francis afterward Lord Jeffrey in the Edinburgh Review in August 1817, and the description Lakers was also used in a similar spirit by the poet Lord Byron. These names confusingly group Wordsworth and Coleridge together with Southey, who did not subscribe in his views or work to the theories of poetry. So in the week 7th, we had a revision of the works and life contribution of them in the Romantic age, that is Wordsworth and Coleridge. And we also learned about Robert Burns, Robert Southey, William Blake, and their style of writings, their contribution to literature, and their works. So in the next week, that is week 8, which was the last week, the week began with the revision of the week 7. The final week included the works of other great poets such as Keats, Shelley, etc. The main motive was to let us know about the writing style and their beliefs, which can be seen in their poetries. The topics covered were Introduction to John Keats, his style of writing and famous works, Introduction to P.B. Shelley, his style of writings and famous works, the philosophy of the Romantic age, and the end of the Romantic age. So with this, I conclude my presentation, and I hope this course was a very good course, as it helped me academically too, and I was able to have a more deeper intertextual knowledge of all the different authors and poets, which helped me to gain knowledge and also get a better understanding of the entire Romantic age. Thank you.